So today we are reviewing for your chapter 12 test tomorrow. So no one's going to show up to class tomorrow and say, I didn't know we had a test, right? Okay, it seems like someone inevitably says that every time, but we all know a test is coming tomorrow, right? Okay, so test tomorrow over all of chapter 12. The first thing we need to review is your shapes, your solids, and classifying them. All right, so just hopefully this is a review. These are your 5 different types of solids that you need to know. And remember, with pyramids and prisms, their classification is determined by how many sides to their base they have. So if it's a 5-sided base, it would be a pentagonal prism. If it's a 7-sided base, it would be a heptagonal prism or pyramid. Okay, cone, sphere, cylinder, which is what it is. All right, so just make sure you know your 5 types of solids and how you classify pyramids and prisms. All right, so let's go through and let's classify some of these. Okay, so let's look at the top left one. Okay, top left. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4 sides in my base. So what type of pyramid is this? You can say rectangular pyramid or a square pyramid. Without knowing the dimensions, though, I can say that it looks like a square. So rectangular is probably the safer bet. All right, well, let's look at the top right one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a pentagonal. What about the bottom one? 1, 2, 3, triangular. All right, so types of pyramids. Then we have types of prisms. And again, types of prisms. Now, this first one can be deceiving because this is not my base. Prisms have 2 bases. And my 2 bases are what? Triangles. So it is a triangular prism. All right, I want you to classify the other 2.
I got that wrong on the quiz.
Okay, so the top right one had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a hexagonal, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Octagonal, very good. Okay, so those are your shapes. Now, what if we have to actually classify faces, edges, and vertices? Well, remember, a face is a what? A side, right? So this is a face, like the front side. And if it has a front, it also has a back, top. It has a bottom, right? It has a left. So how many faces would this cube have? All right, so 6 faces. Now let's count edges. Remember, with edges, it's where the faces meet. So we have 1 edge, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 edges. Any questions on how you count that? All right. And then for vertices, you guys remember what a vertice is? The corners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 vertices. Okay. You have 3 of these on your test tomorrow. Any questions? All right, so that's it for solids. Now let's talk about surface area of a rectangular prism. All right, so what if you had these dimensions? The most difficult part of your test tomorrow, and really the difference between passing grades yesterday and failing grades, was whether or not you knew the formulas and could plug them in. So you actually might need to study tonight. You've got to know these formulas. Find the surface area of the rectangular prism. Okay, so surface area equals 2 times length times width plus 2 times length times height plus 2 times width times height. Now it's just a matter of making our substitutions. I like to take it one step further and go ahead and simplify each set of terms. Surface area is 78 meters squared. Did you get it? 78?
Yes.
Okay, guys, just like that, tomorrow. Now, surface area of a cylinder, do you guys remember the formula? All right, go ahead and use the surface area. Use these dimensions to find the surface area of the cylinder. Okay, surface area equals 2 pi RH plus 2 pi R squared. Now we just make our substitutions and we can multiply. What did you get for your answer? 31.4 inches squared. Now, if you rounded it to the nearest whole, that's fine. All right, any questions on surface area of cylinders? All right, so that's surface area of cylinders, but what if we don't know the height? What if we don't know the height? So now we have these dimensions, okay, and we're solving for the height of the cylinder. Go ahead and try that one. So when we make our substitutions, all right, there's our H right in the middle of all these other numbers. There's our H, what we're solving for. So we have to simplify everything around it. What's 2 times 3.14 times 10? 62.8. And then what about the other set? 628. Now I subtract 628 from both sides and divide, and H is 15 inches. Did you get 15? Okay, so that's how I find the height of a cylinder. Now let's switch gears a little bit and let's solve for volume. All right, so now the volume of a rectangular prism. All right, this might be one of the easier formulas, I think, at least, on your test tomorrow. Go ahead and find the volume of this rectangular prism. Okay, so what's my formula for volume? Length times width times height. Length times width times height. All right, and 4,620 feet cubed. All right, so that's volume, but what if you didn't know the length and you were given the volume? All right, go ahead and solve that. Solved? Okay, so 28 equals 7 times 1 times L, so I just divide by 7 and I get 4. All right, last thing we need to cover is volume of cylinders. You guys remember the formula for volume of cylinders?
Pi times onto 8.
Okay, very good. Okay, so formula for a cylinder, V equals pi r squared h. Okay, pi r squared h. Given these dimensions, find the volume. I told you the formula, so if you weren't sure, make sure you go ahead and write that down. Okay, V equals 3.14. Whoa, why did I plug in a 6 here?
Because that's diameter, not radius.
That was diameter. Okay, so you can count on that for your test tomorrow too, that might get thrown in there. So if the formula calls for radius, you've got to half the diameter to find the radius, and then you can multiply 678 centimeters cubed. Did you get the answer? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, if you understand that, that should be everything you need to know for your test tomorrow.